in those days, we had no issues at all. We had staff coming out of our ears. But now that we've all progressed with technology so much, and we do and like with the volume of freight coming in, we need to. Yeah, you can't stay in one place. So these days, a lot of it's done remotely. And we're not doing the cargo exams we used to do, where we'd go down the wharf and unpack containers and open packages and do all that sort of thing. And you did that, whomever you were, male or female. Yeah. I used to always travel around with my Stanley knife. It was just one of the things you did as a customs broker. Yeah. Now, of course, if I carried a Stanley knife, I'd get arrested.
Yeah, you might be.
But in those days, it was okay. Yeah. So we did good things, and it was seen as fun things by the youth, coming out of school.
And it's a real it attracts them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it attracts them. Now, particularly those who don't want to work in an office, little realising that as they got promoted, they were going to end up in an office, but still.
Yeah.
But then now, with the increasing technology, we don't have the need to do a lot of the manual work we used to do. We do it online. That's right. We used to go into the shipping company office and what we used to say was to clear the bill, but that was to pay the charges and, get a delivery order and hand over the original bill. Now you do it all online. So that's need...
Right. You've got a delivery order in exchange.
Yeah, that's right. That need is gone. And so a lot of the kids that want to work outside are not seeing those opportunities now. But there's still so many opportunities, and it is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely interesting.
There are, I think, so I'm well known, yes, but I think I got where I am because when I was working in a brokerage, they just gave me all the hard stuff. Yeah. And you'd sort of look at it and turn the paper upside down and think, what am I going to do with this, Yeah. But all of that is knowledge that builds. And
you had to problem solve.
Well, problem solve, yeah. And I've been told in a meeting with a client when I asked him what type of pump it was. Was it a piston pump? Was it centrifugal? Was it blah, blah? And he kind of blinked at me, this little lady in a suit, and said, ladies don't talk that way. It's, as brokers, we get this really well-rounded knowledge of all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is really interesting. But so we need to get the kids interested in it again. One of the bad things about the industry, because you need to do positive and negative, is that, as I made the comment earlier, it would seem that we are now responsible, personally, for everything that goes wrong in the world, just to round it up.
Personal liability, liable,
and that's because of the customs penalties that they impose for any error, including things like using an incorrect statistical code. It's all right where you've underpaid duty millions of dollars, fair enough, but
it's a lot tougher. Yes,
it's a lot tougher than it was.
Strict liability penalties.
Strict liability penalties, yeah.
It's a great revenue raiser, isn't it?
We used to have a penalty scheme, and we brought in about $4.30 annually, I think. And then the government found that Canada had a penalty scheme, and we cross-relate a lot with Canada. The Canadian penalty scheme brought in about $20 million annually, and the government looking for money went, that sounds good.
We could do the same.
Suddenly we have an infringement at a scheme.